Well, autumn is well and truly here, and that means I've a lot of work to do in the garden to get it ready because winter is coming. So that means I need to cut back everything here, all the long grass, all the vegetation needs to be cut back and reduced, and I need to rake the ground, plant some seed and get it all ready for next spring. Let's get started. This time of year, I need to be on the lookout for animals using my long grass to shelter and hibernate in. I want to be very careful when I start to cut it that I won't do any damage to animals like frogs or hedgehogs. You may notice some of the areas of the long grass have been trampled down as I've walked on it to get a better look at something. I'll take that into account next year when I let it grow again and incorporate walkways in certain areas. Here's some evidence of an animal visitor to my garden. I'm hoping it's a hedgehog, as I have seen them in the garden, but it's probably just a cat. This video clip was taken back in July this year when we spotted a late night visitor to the garden. Hedgehogs are becoming increasingly rare in the UK, so I'm really happy to have seen this one. Next year I may try to do things in the garden to encourage more hedgehogs to show up. Another interesting find in the garden is this hole in the grass. They can be found all over the garden. This is evidence of squirrels. The squirrels will leave marks like this where they have hidden an item of food. These are called larders or caches. The item buried here will be retrieved in winter when food is harder to come by. Squirrels have also been known to make fake caches if they are being watched by another squirrel or a human. Well, it's time to start cutting. I'm using a strimmer to cut the grass as short as I can, and then I tend to go over it with a lawnmower. I stop occasionally to check for frogs and hedgehogs. The last thing I want to do is to hurt or kill any animal hiding in the grass. I didn't find any hedgehogs, but I did have to stop for frogs on several occasions. But don't worry, none were harmed. By the end of the first day, I'd made some decent progress, but it's going to take quite some time to get it all done. Progress has been extremely slow and hard going. It's constantly raining, which means the grass is wet and difficult to cut. I don't understand how gardeners get anything done this time of year, but a rare day today. It's not raining, even though it was raining a lot yesterday, and for the last few days everything is still really wet. I'm just going to give it a go and see if we can make some more progress. Okay, so I've made pretty good progress today, I think. I've gotten to the stage now where it's just too wet to cut anymore. I've got the lawnmower out and I've been cutting the grass as short as I possibly can in the areas that I've managed to trim, but it's clogging up the lawnmower now and it's just too wet, so I'm going to have to call it a day. Hopefully it'll dry out, but it's probably going to rain later on today and a bit tomorrow, so I don't know how people get this done. It's so difficult, but I just have to keep coming out every now and again and seeing if I can get some more done. So anyway, that'll do for today, and I'll probably join you back in a bit and we'll do a bit more. At the beginning of this video I said that winter was coming. Well, now winter is here. It's December, 1st of December as I'm filming this, and I haven't really made much more progress since the last bit you've seen. It's been constantly raining pretty much the entire time since from last clip to now, and while it's not raining today, you can see how wet the ground is. It's just impossible to get any more grass cut, so I think I'm going to just leave it how it is now, and I will try and clear up the rest at the beginning of spring, maybe even as early as February possibly, if I can find some dry time where I can cut the grass back. There's still bits out here which I wanted to get cut back and I just haven't been able to, so but I'm going to leave it for now. There are a couple of other jobs that I can do, but first I wanted to show you some of the ground here, and you saw the squirrel caches that we showed earlier on. There's loads more, they're all over the garden. Just have a look at some of this. But as I say, there are 2 more jobs that I can do now. With all the rain that we've had, I noticed that the bird food in the feeder was beginning to go mouldy, so I had to clean that. So I've taken the bird food away, thrown it all away, and we're going to clean that up and put some fresh stuff in. And also I've got some seeds that I want to plant in the garden in the areas that I have cut the grass. So let's go and do that. So what I've got here is some Yellow Rattle. This is a native wildflower with distinct yellow flowers, and it will grow in grasslands, low fertility grasslands. And what it actually does is it reduces the amount of grass that grows, which allows other wildflowers to have the space to germinate. So hopefully we'll see some really good benefits from this if it grows. I have heard it's kind of a little bit tricky to get established in gardens, so it may or may not work, but we won't know until the next spring. Now this does need the cold of winter to germinate. These seeds, they need to be frost and cold, otherwise they just won't germinate. They don't last very long in the soil without that cold, so you have to sow them at the right kind of time. This is about as late in the year that I want to get them sowed. I did want to do this a lot earlier, but December is still a fine time to get these sown as far as I understand. So let's get going. We'll get some of these planted, and hopefully in the spring we'll see some benefits. So the last job to do today is to clean up the bird feeders, and I've got them soaking in the water here. Now, it's very important to keep on top of this because if a bird with a disease feeds your feeder, it can easily transmit it to the other birds that also use those feeders. So this needs to be done on a fairly regular basis to make sure that the birds are kept as healthy as possible. So as I get to work cleaning these, I want to say thank you very much for watching today's video. We'll be picking up the Wildlife Garden project, probably back up in the spring next year, but keep a lookout for other videos. Hopefully we'll be getting some out on the channel very, very soon. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.